am going here. We are live.
We're just sitting here cheesing
We're cheesing.
on this April the 2nd at 4 o'clock Central Time. We're in Alabama. Where are you guys?
I saw all over the place earlier, waiting for it to go live.
All over the place.
Mm-hmm.
We thought we were going to be a minute early, and Jason forgot to cut his computer mouse off.
I did.
Had to do that in order to use his finger to make the...
Yes, I can control everything this way.
You got it?
We're good.
We're good. How's everybody doing today? I bet it's a chance of rain.
That's what I'm saying. I'm hoping everybody is safe and sound today. Right now, everything is north of us, north and west.
Weather-wise.
I watched James Spann a couple of hours ago. He don't seem too concerned for us, even though we're in the yellow. But he says typical spring storms in Alabama that I don't know. Usually you can tell when he's nervous, and he didn't seem too nervous today for us. But that don't mean the rest of the people. It looks like right now I've been watching Ryan Hall. I just cut Ryan Hall off, but Tennessee and above looks pretty scary up there. Yeah.
Well, no matter where you are, I hope you are safe.
Absolutely.
Taken care of. And
that's the second person I saw that said it's storming in Indiana right now, and in the morning they're gonna have snow.
Well, so earlier, me, Carl, and I were looking at the map, and we looked at the whole United States, and I could see an area of snow that was huge. And Mary Carl said, "Where is that?" I said, "Well, it looks like it goes all the way to Indiana." And she said, "Mama, it's not snowing in Indiana." So I gave her my phone. I said, "I didn't say it was snowing. I said that the snow extends all the way to Indiana."
Yeah.
And when she looked at it, she was like, "You are right." It's a big, huge area of snow. Of course, I'm looking like this because that's what it looked like on my phone. But
well, I guess that's what's bringing this weather through.
Front through.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to have a 20-degree plus swing here in Alabama.
Yeah, they're showing low 37 now.
Woo!
Yeah.
Well, I think our lows are more than 20. Oh, your pants have a hole in them.
Yeah, they work pants.
Okay. But it's been in the mid 80s here. 82, 83, something like that. And we're expecting highs tomorrow around 60. So good bit of difference.
Good bit of difference. I was hoping the rain was going to hold off for the storm to come, before the storms got here, and so we could do the live. And knock on wood,
yeah,
it has.
Jason asked me this morning. He said, "You reckon I ought to say that we may not be able to do the live?"
Yep.
I like to look at the hour by hour, and it told me it wasn't going to rain till after the live. So we're good right now.
We're good right now.
Hey, Catherine over at G&G.
I saw Nick and Zoe on here from Chestnut Hills earlier.
Hello.
So, anyways, I hope you guys are safe and sound and just get some rain, and that's it.
Yeah.
That's what we're praying for over here.
We don't wish that bad stuff on anybody.
No, absolutely not. I am kind of glad I haven't planted the garden yet.
Yeah, I'm kind of glad
even though
too.
37 really wouldn't damage anything per se, but I'm glad.
I did notice that the pecan trees, the big pecan trees, have started budding out.
So it's official.
There's green leaves about that long.
Yep, they're ready.
So it is time.
It is time.
However, we haven't gotten there just yet. That's okay.
That's okay. We've been busy little bees.
We have, and it seems like we're always a little bit delayed with our planning.
We are.
But it kind of gives you a peace of mind, I think.
It does. I'm usually always later than most people when it comes to planning because I usually always wait on the pecan trees. I know a lot of people use Good Friday, but y'all know Good Friday is never on the same day. I mean, it may be, mid-March or you just don't ever know. So
or on into April to where we're later.
Right.
So, not necessarily are you late, but you're where you want to be.
That's right. That's right. And I told you, this is my plan. I want to see if I can use the cultivating tool with the 8N tractor.
Your granddaddy's tractor.
Granddaddy's tractor. And I think I may be able to do it. I'm going to try it one more time just to see what happens. I mean, if it cuts off, it cuts off. It cranks right back up in a couple of hours. So I want to see if I can get the fields cultivated and make the hills in the garden for with the tractor. With that tractor. That's been my plan the whole time. That was the real thing that I wanted to do with that tractor, is put that tool on it. It's actually a cultivator, but Granddaddy's got it set up where it makes his little mounds and makes his rows for him.
Well, could it do that on my tractor too if we have to?
Yeah, I've been using it on that tractor.
Okay.
Been using it on that tractor. So, fingers crossed.
I'm just a driver.
If it don't work, it don't work. It like I said, the tractor are cranking after it gets unflooded. I know that's what's happening, and I got to get back over there to Mr. Gary.
Yep.
And then Mr. Donnie said he would look at it for me.
Yep.
He could take the carburetor apart and look inside and see if he sees the float sticking or the needle sticking. So
we'll just see which one happens first.
That's right. Either way, as a matter of fact, he supposed to be getting me the address today to send the heads off for the Volkswagen.
Well, did you decide to do that?
Yeah, I decided to send the heads off.
Okay.
It was
Well, I'll take them to UPS.
Okay. He said the guy told me it's usually about $20 to ship them, so it wasn't that bad. They're not big. They're not really heavy. Yeah. And they're aluminum.
I think is that what I saw sitting on top of the toolbox?
Yes, okay. That's the cylinder heads.
Well, yep. I guessed right then.
Yep.
I guessed right.
You did guess right.
Because I sure don't know what I'm looking at.
Speaking of garden, I harvested Swiss chard today for the first time. And I want to say this is probably my 4th or 5th time trying to grow Swiss chard. And I've never been able to grow it. And I don't know why. If you're a gardener or ever garden, you'll realize sometimes, unless you're Tracy probably can grow anything. But,
yeah, she probably can.
You'll find that there are certain things that no matter how hard you try, you're just not good at growing. You're just not. Cauliflower is one for me. Eggplants are one for me.
But you can't say that because look, okay, so you just said you've tried to grow it 4 or 5 times and you've been unsuccessful.
I've been unsuccessful.
But this time you were successful.
This time I was.
So you got to scratch something off your list because you can obviously grow it. It just takes you a little more time than somebody else might.
Yeah, I don't know the only thing I did different this year is every year I try to grow the rainbow Swiss chard. And Hoss was sold out of rainbow Swiss chard. So they had this other variety, and I can't remember it off the top of my head right this moment. But they only had 2 varieties, the rainbow and this one.
I tell you what they should have named it. Beautiful Swiss chard.
It's pretty.
Because it is beautiful.
It is beautiful.
I just washed it all.
Yep.
Did you hear me down there washing it?
I did hear you down there washing it.
I got it all washed and cleaned up, and it is absolutely beautiful. And as a matter of fact, I said, do I have something in my tooth right here? And I'm showing my tooth all sideways, and Jason said, yes. And I said, well, I bit into that Swiss chard because I wanted to see what it tasted like.
I tasted it too. I didn't want to. I wanted to make sure it wasn't bitter.
Well, it's very thick.
It is.
I was not expecting that at all. It's very thick, and it's it's not something you would own. I was thinking you might make a salad out of it, but that's not the case.
Yeah, that's not the case.
You need to probably soften it up some before. And that's what we're going to have with our dinner tonight.
You're going to saute it, right?
I'm going to saute some Swiss chard.
I'm excited.
And what I'm going to, the recipe, well, it's not really a recipe, but what I'm going to do is add a little lemon juice to it at the end. And that should give it a little extra flavor.
That'd be good. I'm excited about it. Like I said, I've tried to grow it. That was the only thing different was that, and I got new soil here. I got a different soil type here.
So you haven't tried to grow it here. You didn't try to grow it.
I tried to grow it last year.
Oh, so that doesn't have anything.
But that crazy freeze we had killed it.
Oh, okay.
And that, like I said, it was the rainbow Swiss chard. So
well, this is the beautiful version.
Fingers crossed.
Not to say the rainbow wouldn't be beautiful too, but
it is pretty though.
It is really, really pretty. It just kind of brings a smile to your face. It's
beautiful,
flawless
purple center in there.
I started to bring some up here, but I washed
pretty.
it all, and it was all, in the colander drying. So I'll let you guys know if you remind me. I can't read it, so you remind Jason if on Saturdays live if we enjoyed it or not.
That's right.
We'll let you guys know if we'll plant it again next year.
It was a little bit slower to grow versus the other greens I planted, which I thought was unusual.
That's obvious because the rest of them have bolted and gone to seed. Per se, and then the Swiss chard is just now getting to its prime, right?
That's right. And as a matter of fact, I've let everything bolt. Usually I would not do that. I would go ahead and turn it into the soil, but I've let everything bolt because the bees are loving the flowers. So the greens have bolted on us. The broccoli's bolted on us. And if you don't know what that means that it's gone to flower and is about to start producing seeds. And greens and usually your fall garden stuff, you don't want to bolt because it changes the flavor. And typically is that it makes it bitter.
But you can't stop it, right?
No.
You just want to eat it before it gets to that point.
You want to try to eat it before it gets there. I mean, you can, if you start seeing it a little bit, you may can pinch it off. But once you start seeing it, it's going to start happening. And what's happening to us is that it's just been the temperatures just shot up on us. And when the temperatures got real warm, those fall weather plants are going, cool season's over with.
We got to produce some seeds.
We got to produce some seeds and it'll bolt. And that's why they call it, I guess that's why they call it bolting, because it shoots up. I mean, it's fast too. It's really fast.
There is a little garden on the way to town.
Yeah.
And the gentleman has always kind of sold turnips or collards and sweet potatoes and stuff at his roadside.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I noticed this year, actually, it was last year. His plants were planted, but nothing ever happened. He never opened the stand. And so I felt like something had happened to his health or, I didn't know. Right. But I knew he didn't open the stand. And so those plants sat there in that ground and he didn't ever till it. He didn't ever disc it. Those plants sat there throughout the year. And guess what? This year they came back. Not all of them, but a lot of them. They reseeded and they came back. And when I was on the way home from town today, I noticed how, even though it's not desirable, it's pretty when it bolts. Those pretty yellow flowers were all in that garden where his plants had not been taken up.
Yep.
So we will have to get them up because that will happen.
Yeah, well, I've already put them down.
You're going to till it and tarp it.
Yeah, I'm going to till it and tarp it.
What I meant was if we left it exposed, then they would come back in that same area next year.
It would come back.
But tarping it will take care of it, right?
It should take care of everything for us.
Good deal.
Yep.
Good deal.
Oh, I was fixing to say something and I lost my side.
I messed you up. You just gotta say shut up, bro.
You were talking right.
Get a word in.
No, you were talking right. I
forgot gotta get a word in.
What I was about to say.
Something about gardening.
It was about gardening. It was. It was about gardening, but I can't remember what it was now.
Well, I'm excited to cook the Swiss chard and see what the flavor's like.
Yeah.
I actually have leftovers, and it's going to be, we don't usually talk about food until the end, but it's going to be good. It's going to be a good dinner. So we'll tell y'all what we're having towards the end. I think they already took care of it. Somebody else did.
Okay.
I saw it.
Okay.
You're looking for something positive?
Oh, I know what I was going to say. The peach orchard.
Yeah.
So I was unable to get drone footage because of the winds. Right. The winds during the flowering part, because it was only like after we said it, they were flowering for about, 3 days, 4 days, and they started dropping them. And the wind had a lot to do with it. We've had a lot of heavy winds here, and my drone will not fly in the wind. If it's bad, I'll get a wind warning and it'll start landing. It
wouldn't be good.
Yeah, so I was unable to get the drone footage of the peach orchards, and now the blooms are completely gone
they're
now.
Completely leaved. The trees are all, while they're pretty, it's not anything you would want to see
right
from overhead. Those blooms are beautiful though, and maybe next year we can get some footage of them.
Next year I'll be more prepared.
Yeah,
I'll be more prepared on it. But the spring is so windy. That's how come I haven't done much drone footage at all here lately. Today was 10, 15, 20 plus today.
And I kind of expected that.
Yeah.
Yesterday, I had my appointment in Birmingham, and excuse me, Jason and Mary Carl went with me because they went to the movies.
We
and
did.
I told Jason yesterday, I said, I hope we didn't make a mistake by actually not filming anything today, because we knew this weather system was coming in, and what usually happens is it brings some wind with it. But you were able to get everything taken care of, and very interesting video will come out tomorrow.
Yes.
Very interesting.
You guys are going to love it. It's going to be a good video. Really good video.
Well,
we saw Ghostbusters, the new Ghostbuster movie, and
not me
and Mary Carl. Mary Carl and I went and saw the new Ghostbuster movie, and it was entertaining. It's not going to win any Academy Awards or anything, but it was funny. And I forget how much I love Bill Murray as an actor. That is one funny man right there. And I don't know, when he came into the movie, it really did. It was good. It was absolutely good.
Well, not to say that I don't like Bill Murray, but I have never been a fan of Ghostbusters. Even as a child, I guess it was in the 80s when the first one came out.
It was.
Would that be right?
That's correct.
I didn't get it. I didn't understand it. Of course, I watched it, but it just went pew pew. No desire. To see it. So I did not go.
You did not go. I liked it. It kind of reminded me of the original Ghostbusters. I think there's been some that kind of veered off that, but it was fun. As a matter of fact, the gentleman that directed the movie, his dad directed the first two.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
So why was there a different director for the third one?
They just do that. That's
not the norm, is it?
Yeah, they do that.
Oh.
Yeah, they do that a lot.
Well, I just watch them. I don't know anything.
But it was fun. I mean, it's just a fun movie. Like I said, it's.
Well, that was actually Mary Carl's idea to go see.
It was her idea. It was
something she wanted to see. Now, there's a lot of movies that she's kind of on the fence about.
Mm-hmm.
Don't Beekeeper. I wanted to see, and she didn't want to see it. I mean, you could just tell she had no desire, and that's just like me and Ghostbusters. I had no desire. But my appointment at the Kirkland Clinic at UAB was at 5:00 p.m. And I had to double and triple check that, because normally at 5:00 clinics are shutting down. That's not, a time you would be. And of course, I wasn't seeing a doctor. I was having an MRI done to make sure there was nothing tumor-wise going on with my tongue that was not visible. So my parking was good.
There's nobody there.
I did not have to use the valet service. I noticed that there were a few people there that were using the valet service, and they actually had them parked in the little circle. They didn't even take them across the street. There were so few parking spots taken up. But y'all talk about weird. Walking into a facility that's normally slap full of people.
Yeah.
So much so, if you have any kind of a compromised immune system, you want to wear a mask, because you're just wall to wall with people.
Yeah.
And going in there and not seeing anybody whatsoever was kind of a weird feeling.
Kind of weird, wasn't it?
Kind of weird. I went all the way through the second floor or first floor to get to the elevators without encountering one single person.
Wow.
And I had to go down to the basement to have an MRI. And I did ask the gentleman at the desk, I said, it's about time for y'all to get out of here, isn't it? And that was my way of saying, what time do y'all close? And he said, well, we normally are here until 6.
Okay.
So, that makes for a long day for those.
Yeah, I guess it would make for a long day. And that is an odd feeling when you're in a place that's supposed to be really crowded.
Yeah, and you've been in there 100 times, and there's always been oodles of people.
I tell you, the time I remember that really was freaky was we went to Disney World one year, and I can't remember how long ago this was, and it wasn't really packed to start with, that, for to be in Disney World. I mean, we were getting on rides
Was
easily.
it the Animal Kingdom?
No, we were at Epcot, and we had the after hours because we
Oh,
were
that's
staying
right.
on resorts. So if you wasn't staying in a Disney hotel or
You had to leave.
or on site, they made you leave. And once they made everybody leave, y'all, we were in. It's where the Dora ride is, and it's got huge aquariums in there, and it's whatever the turtle's name was that interacts with you. I swear we were the only 3 people in that whole building. It was weird. It almost felt like they closed Disney World down and we forgot to leave.
Well, that's what I felt like about the clinic. It was like, am I really supposed to be here? I mean, there's nobody in here. The valet parking, they were taking cars, but it said, I didn't valet park, but at the thing it said, if you're here after hours, go to such and such area to get your keys.
Right.
Because it was just so shut down.
It is weird.
Yeah. But needless to say, I did not get any results yet. I'm still waiting to find out, what the results are from the MRI that I had done.
Mm-hmm.
And I was not at all prepared for the procedure that took place. I'm thinking an MRI and a CT scan is going to be about the same. I've had a CT scan done, but, and then they asked me, they said, have you ever had an MRI scan done? And I said, I have. And they said, okay, well, this shouldn't be any problem. It'll take about 50 minutes. And that's when I was like, I didn't say anything, but I thought to myself, 50 minutes. The last one took 5 minutes. So they give me these earplugs and then tell me that they're going to put these headphones on top of the earplugs. And I'm like, wait a minute, something's different here. This is not what I had to do last time. And so they did that, and they propped my legs up so I'm comfortable, and I'm laying down just like a normal MRI procedure. And y'all, I'm here to tell you, I didn't have an MRI in the past. This is totally different. Totally different. Of course, I wasn't scared or anything. You have to know that you're going into an enclosed tunnel area. And if you're claustrophobic, then that may affect you. But he gives you this button, and he called it a button, but it's more like a blood pressure manual monitor thing. And so 25 or 30 minutes into the MRI, I come out and I have dye, or the contrast, as they call it, injected. And he said, well, you're on the home stretch now. We're on to the last 25 minutes of it. Oh, my gracious. I just can't imagine how many images they can take in 50 minutes.
Must be a lot.
And the crazy part of it is most of you have probably had an MRI done at some point in your past. What's the sound differences?
I'm seeing it right now. There's a lot of people saying it's so loud. It's so loud. The machine is loud. It is so loud. Way noisy.
It was just, and it was different banging sensations.
Yeah.
And I found myself at one point, it was kind of like a beat to it, it doom, 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 doom. And it would do that for say 30 seconds. And then the tone would change. And at one point I thought to myself, wonder what they would do in that room over there if I just started going, because that's what I felt like. It was a tune that you just wanted to move a little bit to, and it constantly changed.
Yeah.
I was amazed. And I still don't, I know what an MRI is. It's magnetic resolution, something.
Imaging, maybe?
Yeah. But I don't know what I guess the sound waves bounce off of you. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. But it was different.
Now, they gave you earplugs.
Yes.
And headphones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when she gave them to me, I thought, I don't know what she's giving me this for. So after he got done, I said, I must inform you that I've never had an MRI before. He said, oh, you hadn't? I said, no. I said, I had a CT scan last. I thought that in my mind, I was thinking I'd had an MRI before, but I've never had an MRI before. And he said, well, you did wonderful. So I asked him, I said, well, how many people mash that button? Squeeze the thing to mash the button. And he said, not very many. many do it in outpatient, which is what I was. I just went for the MRI and left. But he said, it's a lot more common in the hospital. So I was telling Jason that. I said, reckon why there's so many more people in the hospital that kind of get, a little uncomfortable in the MRI. And he said that it's probably more so that they're not scheduled.
That's what I think. I don't think somebody's prepared for it. They're probably in the hospital, so they're probably in the ER or something. So either they're in pain or they got some anxiety or, so.
And that made perfect sense. Because,
that's what I think.
I could not get it together in my head as to why he would say nobody mashes the button hardly in the outpatient. Not to say it doesn't happen, because, it happens. But it was it was not what I was prepared for, I should say. I made it through fine. It's not painful at all. It's very easy. You just have to sit still.
Right.
And you have to listen to the beat.
I have to listen to the beat.
And dance a little bit in your head.
Yeah. I tell you what happened to me is that if it was the rhythm, I may have fallen asleep.
You wouldn't have fell asleep.
You don't think I would have fallen asleep?
No. With the earplugs and the headphones, it was still so loud that you couldn't focus on anything but that beat. And then it would stop for a while.
Yeah.
And no sound whatsoever. And then all of a sudden, boom, 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 boom. And I told my mom, I said, Mama, that MRI beat anything I've ever had done. And she said, I remember your daddy telling me that it was like a train coming through.
Wow.
And I said, well, I wouldn't describe it as that. I would describe it as a construction crew.
Maybe he didn't have earphones on.
Maybe not. Because this was, 25 years ago when he had it, when he would have been doing the procedure. But
I've seen several people come up and say that they have fallen asleep in their MRI.
Good for y'all. Good for y'all. But I was focusing on that beat.
Several people said they have fallen asleep.
Wow. I was I must say I was relaxed, but I couldn't have gone to sleep because of the simple fact that the noise was overpowering. Now, the weird thing was, okay, you're laying down and he said, okay, there's a mirror up above you. And I'm thinking, what is that mirror for? But I figured out that it must make you feel less claustrophobic.
Oh, it probably makes it feel open.
And I wasn't looking at myself.
Right.
The mirror was looking like around, like outside.
That's what it's doing. That's pretty smart.
But I closed my eyes for the majority of the time.
That's pretty smart.
I closed my eyes and he's, my thinking was when he put the contrast or whatever they call it in me, I was going to feel like I wet my pants, because that's what you did with the CT scan. That stuff was warm. You've never had one that you remember.
I have, but I was young.
You don't remember it.
Yeah.
But the CT scan, it's the weirdest feeling. A hot sensation comes over and you feel like you wet your pants, but you didn't. So the MRI contrast has absolutely, he said there's no side effects.
Wow.
I mean, I'm sure there are very few people that have side effects, but there's nothing, that you feel. And it was just no different than having an IV put in. But I must tell y'all, they must not have their very best phlebotomist. Is that the word? That work.
Sounds like something on Ghostbusters.
They must not have their very best phlebotomist working the labs at the MRI and the CT. Because if you guys remember, when I had my CT scan done of my midsection to make sure there was, everything was okay there, the lady stuck me like 6 times.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And I am not. It doesn't bother me. However, if I was somebody that didn't like to be stuck, it might would have bothered them. So I went in thinking the same thing may happen.
Yeah.
However, this was a completely different department, but the guy had to stick me twice.
Not 6 though.
Not 6.
Thank goodness.
I haven't had anybody stick me twice since the lady stuck me 6 times.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I'm an easy stick. And so those people must not get as much experience in as people that do it in a lab. Does that make sense?
That makes sense.
So I ended up having it in my hand, which made it difficult to get my earplugs in and my headphones on. And
I usually got them big veins and arteries, so I just don't have any trouble.
Well, I don't either. I don't have any trouble normally.
Maybe they were It's phlebotomist.
Phlebotomist?
Phlebotomist.
Not phlebotomist?
No.
Okay.
Phlebotomist.
When I had my appendix taken out, it was an emergency.
Yeah.
And I was in Selma at the hospital. It just so happened that several of the ladies in the emergency room I knew. One of them being Piper's mama, Katie. And so I was obviously a little bit dehydrated because I'd been nauseated from the effects of my appendix going haywire. Mm-hmm. So they could not get a vein. And finally, Piper's mama, Katie, they had to call her. And Katie got it just like that. First stick. I'll never forget it. The rest of them had probably tried 10 times, not 6. It was probably 10. But Katie got it on the first try, and I was so thankful to have her come in.
Thank goodness for Katie. I've seen a lot of people ask about Nugget. Nugget's doing fine. I checked on him today. You'll see him in the video tomorrow.
And you'll see him in my video on Thursday.
That's right. So Nugget's doing absolutely fine. As a matter of fact, we'll see him get up. You know, if we're driving down the driveway, if we're feeding or go over there looking at him, about one every, 4th time you'll see him standing up.
Yeah, it's not very often. It's not like he's not doing his job. I think he knows what he's doing. I think he's stretching his legs. He may be turning the eggs.
Could be turning the eggs.
He may be adding a little something to the top of the eggs.
Who knows?
But regardless, he's doing his job. Yeah. He's still sitting. And Goldie is like overseeing the process from a distance. She stays near him, but not on top of him.
Yeah, she does stay near him.
She stays near him. And she was, a matter of fact, I recorded my video today, and I squatted down to open the fence up, and I thought to myself, are you fixing to peck my earrings? Well, she's much more personable.
You'll see her in my video tomorrow. She was all on top of me. I mean, she was right here.
I don't know what made her
I don't know.
Be so much more, and maybe it's because she knows he's our person. And he's not there.
I don't know. I have no idea. I'm sure she's a lot more comfortable now. She's a lot more comfortable around Nugget. She's a lot more comfortable around all the other animals and us. And now, there was, when she first got here, Nugget would run her off.
Yeah.
And then the tide changed at some point, and she would run Nugget off.
And then when the eggs started, it was like they bonded.
So who knows? But I'm guessing Nugget's not around to run her off, and she's just more comfortable. That's what I think.
Don't know what it is,
but she is way more friendly.
I squatted down without any hesitation because I wasn't concerned about Nugget getting my earrings. And boy, I mean, she was right at the back of my head. And I was like, Goldie?
Yeah, she was. Yeah, she helped me fill up Nugget's water today. I can tell you that. Yeah, absolutely. But the Nug Man is doing perfectly fine.
Perfectly fine.
Yes.
I told Mary Carl today, which Mary Carl has seen him, but she hasn't seen him when he was laying completely flat, which is what he does.
Yeah.
I don't know if in your video, if you caught him actually sitting like he sits.
I did in the one where we announced he's sitting on the eggs.
Okay.
What he does, when I caught him, he sits in front of the eggs and scoots his way up like this.
Well, I just showed him the way he's sitting on the eggs.
Oh, and I caught him sitting on the eggs.
And y'all, I mean, you literally cannot see anything.
No.
The black on his head just disappears into the background.
And it's like this. And you can see the purple on his head. And he's looking around like that.
But he paid me I didn't get really close to him, but he paid me no attention.
This was the closest I've gotten to him, and he didn't pay me any attention either.
I was closer than I've been to him. However, I wasn't to where I
couldn't touch him.
No. You were probably closer than I was, though, the way you're explaining it.
I got fairly close to him.
He's not going to get up, I do not believe.
I don't think he's going to get up either. I really don't. And we had, I want to say, at least 3 emu farms reach out to us and tell us that he's not going to eat any food. They said that you can put some water out there, that he may drink water, but don't bother with the food. He's not going to eat any food.
Well, I told Mary Carl the other day, I said, I wish I could just build something to put around him so he would be more comfortable when it rained. And Mary Carl looked at me and she said, "You don't need to put anything around him. He's fine." So,
well, I'll tell you, they don't get out of the rain when it does rain.
But my brain is that I need to do something.
That's how we are. That's how we all do it. And so yeah.
I just can't make myself think, wonder if I put a porta hut over there. And her immediate thought was, Mama, just chill. You don't need to put anything on him. At one point, I thought, we could take that shelter that we built for him and go and put it on top of him, post and all. I'm sure he wouldn't get up if we're hammering and working and building. And
sorry, y'all.
But she convinced me to put my thoughts aside and let Nugget do his natural thing.
Good.
But it doesn't mean I don't want to.
No.
I do want to, but I'm not.
But he's gonna be okay.
By the way, don't let the animals back across the pasture. I didn't tell you not to.
Okay, I won't.
So I'm telling you now.
Okay, we're good.
We kind of had to go our separate ways this morning and didn't get everything verbally accomplished we needed to. Yesterday morning, we had plans to move the chicken bus.
We did have plans to move the chicken bus.
The night before, I didn't. Yesterday morning, I put the front on the tractor that allows us to put the receiver in the tractor to move the bus, because we have the clamp on receiver, but I'm always scared that something's going to happen and that receiver's going to slip off.
The clamp on works when we're pulling.
But not when you're pushing.
Not when we're pushing.
And we would probably have to push where they have to go. So got the front of the thing on, and Jason had moved all the implements from the front of the pasture to the back by the old barn. And guess what? We could not find the receiver.
And for some reason in my head, I had left the clamp on over there where the chickens stay to move them with the clamp on if we need to. And I thought I had left the other receiver there as well, but I didn't. I ended up leaving it down here, and by the time we found it all, the chickens needed to come out.
Let me tell y'all what happened. So he had in his head, I left it inside the coop. And I said, "You left it in the coop?" He said, "Yeah, that's where I put it. I put it inside that coop."
And that's where I'm going to put it from now on.
You better tell me if you do.
It's going in that coop.
So I had shut them up the night before. And the door, it's kind of got a rickety area in it.
It's wore out.
To where you have to.
It's wore out.
You have to position it correctly, or else they will get out the crevice. So I had it positioned correctly. Jason goes in to get the receiver he left in there. He comes out, and all he says to me is, "It's not in there." And I said, "Okay."
And I shut the door back.
You shut the door back.
Yeah.
He heads to the barn. And about that time, I'm sitting on the tractor waiting on him. One by one, chickens are coming out. One by one. So I go, and I told Jason, I said, "Look, we're not going to be able to do this today, because first of all, we're already delayed because we can't find the receiver."
Yeah.
And by the time you got back outside, is it 47 or 48 chickens?
It doesn't matter.
48 of them were outside. And he had not realized that he needed to correct that crack.
Oh, man.
It didn't go well. I said, "We got to move the chickens another day."
So we knew the rain was coming today, so that wasn't going to be good. And then you had to go out of town, so
right.
We'll get them.
We'll get them moved. It's not like
this week for sure.
They're not in a muddy mess. They still have grass, so that's the good part.
Yeah,
is we don't wait till it's past its time.
Yeah,
we do it ahead of schedule, so there is no bad time.
That's right.
To move them.
That's right.
But we'll get them moved.
We'll get them moved. Absolutely get them moved.
They really don't care. They really don't.
They're not picky.
They're not.
At all. I want to say this. Was that we're not opening up links anymore.
Yes.
We've had somebody recently got hacked on Facebook. So So if you send us an email that has a link in it, or you send us a message that has a link in it, or if you comment on a video and has a link in it, don't get upset if we don't comment back or if we don't open it or anything like that. We don't know if the email is legit, if it's a scammer. If we click on it, they can get our information. So we have stopped opening up links, any kind of link. I know that some people even send us e-cards, and I'm kind of scared to click on an e-card because I don't know if it's a fake or a scammer. So I just wanted to let you guys know that we're not opening up links anymore.
We just can't
just
take
for our
that
safety.
chance.
No, we can't take that chance.
Because, while we see some of you guys' names and we recognize your name, that doesn't mean that you didn't get hacked.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't think that any of you are going to send something that's not legit, but you could have been hacked.
That's right.
And that's the way people get, I don't know, I want to say scammed, but hacked.
And so, yeah, I just don't want to take a chance with that. So I don't want you guys to think we're ignoring you or anything like that. We're just not going to open up links anymore.
No, not going to do it. And I haven't done it in a long time because I sure don't know what's legit and what's not legit. So it's best that I don't do anything.
Right.
Jason can kind of sort of tell when something is fishy.
I can, but they're getting really good at it.
What I meant was with even the subject.
Yeah. Yep. I even get, and not me, I'm friends with a lot of creators, and we'll get messages that look like they're directly from Facebook or they're directly from YouTube.
It's crazy.
And it looks absolutely legit. And I will spend 10 minutes making sure it is from them, because we found out 50 to 60% of the time it is not.
And it's crazy that, that there's that many people that want to just steal and scam you.
Yeah, it's crazy. So I just wanted to let you guys know that we weren't going to open up links anymore. That was on my list. Other thing on my list is that I know a lot of people have been asking about it, and it's kind of been in limbo, is that the farm truck.
Oh.
What about the farm truck? What about the farm truck? Well, the farm truck is pretty much officially sold. Somebody has been wanting the farm truck, and they actually wanted it a lot more than I did. So I ended up finally just selling it to them. And, since we got the bus now, we got to get the bus going, and I got to get the tractor going. It was just perfect. It was perfect timing. I think the good Lord did it that way. And
yeah, because otherwise we'd have to build another parking lot.
Yeah.
And we don't want to build another parking lot.
So not to say that I still think at some point I'm going to get me an old model truck for goofing around on the farm or whatever, just not right now. And this person just made me an offer that I couldn't refuse, and I took it. Finally.
Good deal. So we all can enjoy the bus, and of course, that will be Mary Carl's one day.
Right.
And until that time, we'll enjoy the bus, and it can take up that parking spot that the farm truck won't have.
I still think I'll get me a farm truck one day.
Well,
I really do.
I'm not objecting to that.
Right. At some point.
Yeah.
At some point.
We don't know what the future will hold.
I don't know what the future was, but yeah, they wanted it way more than I did.
Yeah.
Oh, me.
Well, I wanted to say something, and that is that Miss Laura at Simply Making It has been hard at work, as always. She's always hard at work, but she's been hard at work making 2 new scents of soap. Can y'all believe it? I mean, how do you have time to make soap plus add 2 new scents? So the first one is called Perfectly Splendid. And I must say, it is indeed that. It is so beautiful. Perfectly Splendid. And she has those available. And the second one that is new that she has added is watermelon. And y'all, it is cute. It looks like a watermelon.
Looks just like a watermelon.
So if you've tried all Laura's scents and you want to add one more to your list, give her a try, because not only are these 2 new, she has other ones for you to choose from as well. But We love to support our friends, small
Ooh.
local businesses, and Laura at Simply Making It is one of those wonderful people.
Somebody asked how were the short ribs? Short ribs? And
I didn't talk about it though.
Somebody asked. I saw it right there. They wanted because you talked about it in the last video, last live.
No.
Yeah, we did.
Are you sure?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Because we talked about you had a recipe, and I said, well,
it was our Easter dinner.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So
how were our short ribs?
They were amazing, y'all. And let me tell y'all, they were so good
that you took a picture of them.
And I had to send it to my boy Michael Key because he likes to send me. Michael is a cook, and he likes to send me his pictures all the time. So
right.
I was proud of you and what you did, and so I took a picture of it. And look at here, look at the short ribs on a bed of mashed potatoes. We had some
roasted carrots,
and some black-eyed peas,
homegrown purple whole peas out of the Coghill garden,
and it was divine.
So another shout out.
So good.
If you guys are in the area, which is Alabama, we like to, of course, help local farms out as well.
Mm-hmm.
And we like to purchase our meat from Calfee. I believe it's Caffey.
Caffey.
Is that right?
I think so.
That's what Derek said the other day, and I always called it Calfee.
Who knows?
Let me see how you spell it. I probably spelled it wrong.
Or my chicken wings. Man, I had chicken wings 2 days in a row.
2 days.
Somebody asked about my chicken wings on my
birthday.
Calfee. 2 days in a row. I had a pre-birthday and birthday.
Okay, it's spelled Calfee. So I guess it is Calfee. Calfee cattle, and they sell both pork and beef, and it is.
It's Calfee. That's what Chestnut Hill said.
Okay, well that's what I thought. But when we went to the Flying Peach, Derek said Caffey.
Who knows?
He may have been thinking about coffee and got mixed
up.
Well,
it's kind of spelled like a baby cow. Caffee.
Well.
Anyways, go ahead.
Anyway, so we like to support local farms because without us, there would be no them.
Yep.
And anybody that's interested in buying meat from them, you can reach out to Dana. She's on Facebook. Calfee Cattle. Yes, it's grass fed. Mm-hmm. And it's good quality.
Yep.
No antibiotics, none of that hormone stuff. So, y'all.
It was good. The short ribs.
It is very good. Very good.
Delicious. And I forgot how much I like short ribs.
Yeah, me too. And that recipe, y'all, let me tell you, if you've never had short ribs, it is so easy. It was in the crock pot. And every short rib that I've ever had has been tomato based, right?
Yep. Everyone we've ever cooked.
This one was no different. Yep. And it was so easy. It
was.
Matter of fact, let's see. I just Googled. Let me see what it says. Slow cooker short ribs.
Slow cooker short
ribs. It is Leanne, LEIGHANNEWILKES. Hey, I did it last time. I'll do it this time. I'll share this recipe on my Mrs. Coghill Facebook page. Y'all were talking about how fast I was last time, so I'm gonna do
it again.
Do it again,
and I'll post a picture of it. How about that?
And share the.
I'll send you the picture, and you can share the recipe.
It was so easy, and it's something that I will cook again because we all enjoyed it.
It was good.
All enjoyed it.
It was really good.
I'm all about some easy recipe.
Mm-hmm.
And especially when it turns out good.
I've been seeing some people on here saying their sirens just went off. Y'all please be safe. We're thinking of you guys. Thinking of y'all. Y'all just
stay safe.
Stay safe.
Don't watch us and get to your safe place.
Absolutely. We have been. I got somebody asked, were we watching the weather? Yes, we're watching the weather. We have a weather radio that's set to alert that the siren goes off on, and our phones are set to go off for us. And I cut Ryan Hall off to do the live, but it's not supposed to get here until later. But our local weatherman, now I haven't checked him in the last hour or so, but he didn't seem like to think we were going to get any really bad stuff. We're going to get some storms, but maybe not the bad stuff. But I'll check him again too. Yep.
Yes, and Holly has become weather aware.
She has become weather aware.
We don't know what happened. She's never been scared.
It's like a switch flipped. I don't know.
She's never been scared of bad weather, but all of a sudden she decided that she was going to be scared of bad weather. And up until this point, the only dog we've ever had like that was Dixie.
Yeah.
And we even bought Dixie one of those thunder vests. Do you remember that?
Yeah, it didn't work.
It didn't work.
Yep.
She looked like, what's her name? Blueberry on Willy Wonka.
Violet.
Violet. She, it's made to be tight. And
you're turning Violet.
Dixie's a little chunky as it is. And so you put that thunder vest on, which is meant to be tight. And she just looked like she was about to bust out of it. But it didn't work for us. Now, it may work for some of you guys, but we just try to keep them calm and
it's supposed to be tight.
Yeah, it's supposed to be tight.
It's something about the tightness that's supposed to
take the stress away.
Take their stress away. Somebody said that theirs loves the thunder shirt, and Dixie didn't care for it.
Dixie did not.
It did not change anything.
She walked like that, and it wasn't that it was so tight she couldn't move. She just didn't like it.
Yeah.
And she's a dog that's always wore clothes.
Yeah, she has. Yep.
Especially when Mary Carl was little, Dixie got dressed up to go to school and all kind of stuff. So it's not that she was not used to wearing a sweater or shirt. She just didn't like it. She did not like it.
She didn't care for it. Did not care for it.
It's, you just got to kind of not focus on the. I remember one time back when I lived at home with my parents, my dog Do that Jason bought for me that my parents took over, and us were at home. My parents were at work, and it was literally a tornado coming at us. And so my mom and daddy told me, I needed to get in the bathtub. And so obviously I had to take Do with me. So Do went with me, and I made Do get in the bathtub. Well, she had baths many times, but this was outside. So I didn't cut the water on or anything, but she was not used to getting in the bathtub.
Right. So
we waited in the bathtub until the weather passed, and we got out. And from that point forward, Do was terrified of weather.
I think there's something switched with Holly, and I don't know what it is. I mean, we haven't had anything that would have scared her, but
we didn't put Holly in the bathtub.
No, not at all.
But I guess Do may have sensed my fear.
Yeah,
and then me putting her in the bathtub on the top of that.
I wonder because Dee Dee doesn't like.
That's true. Dee Dee does not.
And I wonder with Dee Dee and Dixie, and of course Foxy don't like bad weather. I wonder if she sensed it from one of the dogs or something, and that switched with Holly, because usually it didn't bother Holly at all.
But the thing about Dee Dee is I can pick her up and put her where I am, and she calms down instantly. That's not the case with Dixie, Foxy, or Holly. It just it seems like nothing we do calms them down. We just try to not make a big deal about it and go to a place where it's quieter. Of course, you can't make the roof quiet when you have a metal roof and rain is coming down.
I was going to say a shout out to Michael Key for being a hero.
Would you like me to find it? I can. Michael and I haven't texted as much as you have.
So I got a random text the other night.
It was Saturday night.
It was a Saturday night, and it was a picture of Michael Key and Ryan the Roaster. And I was like, where are these guys hanging out without me? I mean, what in the world? But come to find out, Ryan's mother-in-law had a car wreck near Michael's house, and Michael was cooking in the back, and he heard it. And so he immediately got in his truck and ran over there, and he actually got her out of the car. But nobody was hurt. Nobody was seriously hurt.
The cars were hurt.
But everybody's okay. But Michael Key, aka Superman, that's what Ryan's on there calling him Superman.
He was quite the hero.
He was quite the hero.
Of course, he was already a hero to us, but after his
I never got. Did Michael? Did you bust the windshield? I can't remember how he got her out
of the car.
Yeah.
Well, so she was trapped in the car, correct?
She needed help getting out.
She needed help getting out. Wasn't anything that she could climb out of without assistance.
Right.
And luckily, Those two guys had never
fire extinguisher
busted the window
with
out.
a fire extinguisher.
Those two guys had never met before. Am I correct?
They're both really good friends of mine, and they know each other via social media. And that's the first time they met, Michael and Ryan the Roaster. Can you believe that?
Well, I tell you what, I was feeling good to call Michael my friend after his heroic rescue.
That's right.
So y'all all tell Michael thank you for saving Ryan's mother-in-law.
I know that Ryan was very grateful.
I know he was.
Yep.
I know he was. Ryan, you're a hero too, buddy.
That's right. Both of them are.
That's right.
Yep.
That's right. Can't say enough good things about both of those guys.
Mm-hmm.
And to say they've never met, that's quite
that's just crazy to me.
Weird happening.
Ain't it though?
We'll have to break the barn in here at Cog Hill and have all of them over. I'll cook some short ribs. How's that?
I tell you, the good Lord's put Michael in places like that, like he did that.
Yeah.
And I won't forget. And Michael, to this day, that stays in the back of my mind, and it will get me choked up. But Michael cuts grass on the side, and Michael was cutting grass at a matter of fact, it was the Harper's Chapel, I believe, and he was cutting grass, close to the side of the road or whatever, and had his headphones on.
Oh, that's right.
And was listening to music on his headphones or whatever, and was just cutting grass like normal. And then all of a sudden, he's on a zero turn, and he turns and goes back and look, and there's a car wrecked right there. And Michael never heard it. And if Michael would have been 10 seconds, 15 seconds delayed, that car would have hit him.
Yep.
But that car ran off the road and flipped and landed, and
it's a godsend right there that he wasn't hurt, wasn't harmed, and the driver was okay.
The driver was okay too.
So both of them were there at the right time. Thankfully, Michael was a little spaced out from where the wreck happened, but man, oh man.
Yeah.
Telling you what.
I think about that one a lot, especially if you ever cut grass on the side of the road. It always crosses my mind. I mean, man.
I do most of the grass cutting here, and it doesn't cross my mind.
Oh, every time I cut on the side of the road or on the roadside, it's always, and I cut my headphones off because I do listen to the headphones too, but I cut mine off because I always think about that. Well,
I tell you, I think I'll start cutting going towards the traffic versus where I can't see the traffic when I'm roadside because of that. Because it doesn't take but somebody looking down for a second to run off the road.
Right.
And, potentially.
As a matter of fact, I think the guy told him that when he went through, he hit the ditch and got airborne.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, it was.
Wow. Well,
but Mike's still here.
He's still here, and there's a reason for that.
Amen to that.
Because he not only is he still here, but he rescued Ryan's mama.
Yep.
Not that the car didn't catch fire or anything, but she needed to get out of there. Can you imagine?
Well, she was full panicking and shook up. So just the comfort of him getting her out. Yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yep. Amazing things happen for reasons, and thankful Michael's still with us.
That's right.
I was going to say, I said earlier what we were going to eat, and y'all know what we're going to eat. We're going to eat leftovers.
Right, leftovers.
I'd already talked about our Easter dinner.
Leftover short ribs.
Leftover short ribs, except for we're going to add a little Swiss chard to it. And I will let you guys know how that turns out.
Mm-hmm.
You know what?
What?
We, in Chilton County, have been told we are getting a Publix grocery.
That's what we've been told.
We have been told. And, I don't ever see Swiss chard anywhere but Publix. And Publix is somewhere that Jason and I go on a date.
That's our date night.
So can y'all imagine what's going to happen if the Publix comes to Chilton County? It's going to be 7 days a week. We're going to have date nights.
We're going to have lots of date nights.
We might be standing outside in front of the grocery store with a donation bucket because We can't go in.
Especially the way groceries are these days.
That's the
Woo!
truth. But if we get a Publix here, we're gonna have date night 7 nights a week.
Oh my gracious!
I'm excited, and I hope those rumors are true.
I hope they're true too.
Supposedly the lot has been cleared, and we're ready. We're ready.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
What made me think of that is I've never seen Swiss chard in any grocery store except for Publix.
Publix, huh?
So
interesting.
We won't have to buy it though. We'll have it in the garden.
Do we have any mashed potatoes?
Yes, we do. Good. Yes, sir.
Good.
We didn't make it home in time for dinner last night. We had to pick something up on the road on the way home, so that's why we didn't eat all of our leftovers. We were on the way home from Birmingham.
That's right.
Just had to pick something up really quick.
Miss Julie's having a good supper.
What's she having?
Her husband cooked a brisket
for
14 hours.
Wow. Well, guess what? We've got a brisket
in the freezer. Brisket in the freezer.
And you've been talking about needing to cook it.
I have.
So maybe we can get that thawed out. How about I just thaw it out and don't tell you about it and say, Jason, we got to cook this brisket. It's thawed out. If we plan ahead, it never happens.
That's right.
So we just got to get it done.
I do got to get it done.
All right.
Well, guys, y'all stay safe.
We're gonna stay safe.
We're gonna stay safe. I'll keep you guys updated here. If I see that there's some bad weather coming through, I'll let you guys know we're okay. On social media some kind of way. So, but y'all stay safe. Everybody stay safe, and
I'm gonna post that recipe.
You're gonna post a recipe
on Mrs. Godkill's Facebook page.
That's right.
Get it done right now.
Y'all be good.